Hello and warm welcome to join us at this edition of Aid in English News, and I'm Abdul Ahad Mohammadi. An Afghan lawmaker has sharply criticized France's plan to hand over security in her troubled province to Afghan troops within a few months, saying that her country's forces are unprepared to handle the job and more violence would result. Tahira Mujaddidi, an MP from Kapisa province, argued that Afghan forces in the province are not ready to fight the Taliban insurgency, which is especially strong in several of its districts. She said Saturday that it would also be a big mistake for President Hamid Karzai to back a French proposal to end the overall NATO mission in 2013. President Hamid Karzai is in London to meet David Cameron following France's decision to speed up the withdrawal of its troops from Afghanistan. President Karzai and Prime Minister David Cameron will sign an agreement setting out how their two countries will work together after British combat troops withdraw. Britain is expected to sign an agreement to build an officer training college in Afghanistan based on the British Army's Royal Military Academy and at Sandhurst. The agreement will also commit Britain to continue providing aid support for Afghanistan after 2014. The United States said Friday that France's announced plans to withdraw its forces from Afghanistan a year early was a consulted and managed effort with its allies. Amid an uproar over the killing last week of unarmed troops, French President Nicolas Sarkozy said after meeting President Hamid Karzai that France would complete its pullout from the NATO-led mission at the end of 2013. U.S. State Department spokesperson Victoria Nuland stressed the importance of a coordinated withdrawal even though U.S. and other NATO countries intend to withdraw their combat forces by 2014. A team of senior Taliban diplomats have reportedly arrived in Qatar in preparation for the opening of a political office and to host negotiations with the U.S. and the Afghan government. The Telegraph quoted former Taliban officials as saying that the envoys from the former regime have assembled in the past months and the first tentative talks could begin within weeks. It includes Tayyib Agha, former secretary to Taliban leader, Sher Mohammad Abbas Tanekzai, a former deputy foreign minister, and Shahabuddin Dilaver, a former envoy to Riyadh, according to Muhammad Kalamuddin. U.S. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta has expressed concern about Pakistan's treatment of a doctor who helped the United States find Al-Qaeda founder Osama bin Laden. The doctor, Shakil Afridi, has been arrested and charged with treason by the Pakistani government. Panetta also said he still believed someone in authority in Pakistan knew where bin Laden was heading before U.S. forces went in to find him. He acknowledged that Afridi, a Pakistani doctor in Abbottabad, the town where bin Laden was found, had in fact been working for U.S. intelligence, collecting DNA to verify the 9/11 mastermind's presence. Iran is due to open talks with UN nuclear inspectors on Sunday in an attempt to allay their suspicions of a covert Iranian weapons program. The 3 days of meetings in Tehran between Iranian nuclear officials and a team from the IAEA represent the only diplomatic progress in more than a year as tensions mount over Iran's nuclear program and Western attempts to cut off the country's oil trade. Diplomats familiar with the visit say that the IAEA team would seek assurances that they will be able to interview key Iranian scientists and visit sensitive sites. The UN Security Council has met to consider a draft resolution against Syrian government. Activists and the Arab League urged the UN to take stronger action after a surge in violence this week in which dozens of people have been killed. The UK, France, and Germany drafted a resolution with Arab states supporting the League's call for President Bashar al-Assad to hand over power to his deputy. Russia, an ally of Assad, has said it will not back the text. Russia's UN envoy said after the meeting that the draft resolution was unacceptable, but Moscow was ready to engage in future in further talks.
Armed forces from the centers of the cities, but also the political proposal.
Protesters in Senegal have clashed with police after a court approved President Abdoulaye Wade to seek a highly disputed third term but barred music icon from running. Senegal's Constitution Court approved late on Friday a list of 14 candidates who had met the requirements to run for president in the February 26 election, and among them was the 85-year-old Wade. The opposition had earlier vowed to take to the streets because the constitution has a two-term limit. Anti-Wade protesters threw stones at police who responded with batons and tear gas. And that's all for now. Thanks for being with us.